I think I have to now. I feel like I actually have to in reality read the newspaper because I felt so, like, okay, sorry, ma'am, I have to read the newspaper. I haven't been in touch for a long time. So it was that convincing. So very, very, very good job done. I'm totally sold. So good job. Good. The first activity,
Thank
I think
you.
it went really well. Hello. Hi, how
Hello.
are you?
Hi, I'm great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
I'm also doing good. Thank you so much for asking. So we are meeting after some days, right? After a long time, I think.
Yes, yes. Can you see me and hear me
Yes,
properly?
yes, yes. What about you? Can you see me and hear me?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. First, tell me, how have you been? What are you doing these days?
I have been doing great. Everything is going good. Now just working on the same things like communication skills and on YouTube, planning something new too. Like I have
Okay.
tried some offline conversations too. So I have uploaded only
Wow.
one video based on offline conversation. And yeah,
Okay.
planning to join some foreigners also just to visit some
Amazing.
famous places and talk to different foreigners too. Yeah. And that is just in
Amazing.
my pledge.
Okay, that's great. Also, my PDF finally loaded. Thank God. So yeah, no problem. Yeah. Okay. So yes. Can you tell me a little bit about the offline conversation that you had? I mean, what was new about it, or how did it go?
It was good. I enjoyed a lot, but yeah, yeah, it was my first time, so I was not, I guess, that much confident. But overall, I did really a great job. And the people, like the two students were there, and they were really, I guess, beginners. They don't know how to speak properly, even
Right.
two sentences continuously. So
Mm-hmm.
somewhere I had realized that I need to, help them and I made them to speak a little bit. So they just discussed with me their introduction and daily routine like that. And I guess they have also enjoyed because after that conversations, one of them is continuously asking about the next session and asking like, I want to learn, I want to improve my communication skills now. Yeah, and yeah, I have experienced one more thing that is like, people are comfortable behind the camera because
Yeah.
they are also people like who do a lot of fun all the time and make crap jokes, but
Yes.
after coming in front of camera they become really conscious. So it was the little thing that we have to enhance and master this skill. So
Right,
that's
that's
all.
absolutely correct. And you also seem so, I think you're having fun and it shows. You feel it feels like you are in your avatar and you are just constantly, talking about what you like to do and how you help them. So it really is good to see someone who's so passionate about her craft, which is always a good thing, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
wonderful. And just tell me, how different was the offline session as compared to an online session from your perspective. So from their perspective, I understood that many people are more comfortable behind the camera or in front of a camera, but what was different for you?
What was different for me? Um, Different. I feel comfortable in front of camera, like online, but I didn't
Yeah,
know about offline. I was
yeah,
expecting myself also like underconfident, but once I started talking to them, I felt really confident. I felt like I
yes,
can do that. I got to know
yes,
about myself.
yes,
Before that,
that's
I
right.
think,
Yeah.
I guess I must be making a lot of mistakes, or I would also be like, conscious, or I would not be
Mhm.
able to smile and like that.
Yeah.
But it was overall great experience, and I came to know like I can do that too.
Great. That's what I was hoping for. That you were as comfortable, in the offline mode, in the physical mode as well as you are online. That's always a great thing to do. So good job. Okay, now we have a topic at hand today, right? It's
Yes.
newspaper, but we are
Yes.
not just going to do question and answers. We are just going to try out other activities too in this session, and we will see how we can both perform in this. you are not just going to perform, I am also going to perform in certain activities, and we will see how much we can learn through the entire session. Okay, is that fine? Are you
Yeah,
comfortable
absolutely.
with the topic? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
First, tell me, do you read the newspaper? Are you a regular reader?
No, not nowadays. I used to read newspaper in 2020 and 21 when I was preparing
Okay.
for banking. But
Okay. Okay.
nowadays I don't read newspaper, but I'm planning to start the Hindi newspaper now because
Okay. Great.
uh, already I'm working on my communication skills, so that's why.
Right, that's great. So I'm just going to start off with kind of a difficult role play for you. You are going to, so you will be convincing me to read the newspaper. So now that you don't read the newspaper now that frequently, you have to obviously come up with the advantages of what you think are the advantages of reading the newspaper, and you have to convince me. And as I said, I'll also take part. So I will try to be as adamant in my position, so I will say, no, I am not going to read it. So you are just going to try as hard as possible to convince me. And let's see if you can do that. Okay? Is that fine? You're just going to do it
Yeah,
for 2 minutes. Okay? Did you understand the task?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I have to convince you to start reading newspaper.
yes,
Ah,
yes, yes.
great.
Okay. So you can do it in whatever ways you want to. Like if you want to give examples, good with it. If you want to give your own reasons, opinions, experiences, anything works. But you have to convince me basically, and I'm here not to be convinced. So I'm going to make your task a little difficult. So you have to make
Okay.
it, easier for yourself in whatever ways. So ready whenever you are ready.
Hmm. Yes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Start.
yeah,
Yeah.
Ananya Sarkar, I can see vividly that you are wearing spectacles. So I guess you must be using a lot of your mobile phones, and I guess you are a tutor, so you need to acquire a lot of knowledge every day because you are a tutor and you have to talk on a different topics every day with different students. So for that reason, you should have always abundance of knowledge, plethora of knowledge on each topic and even on current affairs also. So for that reason, I believe you are using your mobile phones and you are using every news on the different applications. But I would love to suggest you that avoid your mobile phone and that applications. You should start reading newspaper. Why? Because it is already harming your eyes that you can clearly see. And I believe that doctors also have suggested you to take break from social media a little bit. So I also to suggest you the same thing. Take break from social media and whatever you are learning, you must be learning for students. So try to grab the same knowledge from reading newspaper, and it is the best. It is the most beneficial, one of the most beneficial habits that you for acquiring knowledge and enhancing your English and communication skills as well as the nice vocabulary, advanced vocabulary. Okay, so once you are start reading newspaper, there are different newses also. It is not like kind of a tedious thing to do. Once you are reading a book or once you are reading an any book, you have only one segment to read, like it is based on a particular thing. Okay, but in newspaper, if you are get bored with the articles, with the editorials especially, you don't need to read editorial initially, sorry, editorial initially. You can start reading by as per your interest. If you are very interested in cooking, you can get your recipes from newspaper. Why we always use our mobile phones for getting recipes? We can read from newspapers. It will help us understand in a well manner, and we don't need to repeat. In video we have to repeat the video again and again, but if you are keeping the newspaper with you, you don't need to repeat those. You can just simply check from there and you can start again. If you are a person who is really enjoy watching cricket and get to know more cricket, you don't need to be always like watching the whole for 3 or 4 days. You can simply get to know about the statics from newspaper. because I believe you must be a busy person because you have to attend sessions, you have to, learn, read, and you have to, you just want to keep updated from the current affairs, from cricket and everything. So you can, change according to your interest also. There is nothing like you will feel bored if you are very, if your concern is like, if I read newspaper, I'll get bored. No, this is not like that. Even you can read about the film industry, about the entertainments also. There are a lot of stories based on the, daily things too, so you can read those. And if your concern is to become a well communicator and get good command over advanced vocabulary, newspaper is like his best thing because they use, same words repeatedly. If you are reading a newspaper for 1 month continuously, you will be able to learn a lot of plethora of words effortlessly, because where you there you don't need to put a lot efforts to learn and mug up words. No, regularly if you're reading, eventually at the end of the month you will get a lot of words, learn a lot of words even effortlessly. Yeah, that's all. So that's why you should always inculcate this habit of reading newspaper.
Oh my
I don't know
God,
what
you seemed like an engine on fire. I was at the beginning, I thought I'm just going to say, no, I'm not going to read, I'm not going to read. But you started with an attack. I see you have spectacles. So that shut me up. Like, no, I can't say anything after that. You are right. I am on the phone a lot of times. And the reasons that you give, oh my God, you seem like you're on a marathon. You were just going on and on and on. And it was not even like you were repeating points. You had so many points and you were giving examples like cricket, page three news, vocabulary, this, that, communication, so many things. And you just cannot argue against so many points lined up, right? So I am sorry, but I think I have been defeated. I am convinced. I think I have to now. I feel like I actually have to, in reality, read the newspaper because I felt so, like, okay, sorry, ma'am, I have to read the newspaper. I haven't been in touch for a long time. So it was that convincing. So very, very, very good job done. I'm totally sold. So good job. Good. The first activity,
Thank
I think
you.
it went really well, well. Did you have fun? That's more important. Did you
Yes,
have
yes,
fun
I
studying
have.
with
But
me?
I guess here and there I just jumble the words or maybe grammar
It's
too.
okay. That,
I
that
just
has written some things down. That's fine. But
uh,
you were in a total mode of this teacher scolding her student that, okay, why are you not reading the newspaper? Do you know what you're losing from life? It was wonderful. So yes, the
yeah.
first activity was really fun. Okay, now let's do a very short vocabulary activity. I will give you two words one by one. First word will go first and then the second word. So what you have to do is you have to tell me if you know what this word means. If you if you're familiar with the word, you just tell me this is the meaning or whatever it is,
Yes,
and then
yes.
you try to construct a sentence for me with that word. Okay, and in case if you don't know the word, you are not familiar with it, I will just try to tell you that this is the meaning, and then you make a sentence for me with that. Is that fine? Understood? Two words only, and then we will go to the next part of the session. Okay, this is your first word. Do you know how to pronounce it or what it means? Okay,
Blight.
it's blight. Yes, blight. So
Blight.
how
Okay.
do you
Blight.
know what it means? How do you define blight?
Blight means happy, delighted. Hello?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. My mic got muted for some reason. Yes, blight means happy or delighted, cheerful, very joyous. So could you make a sentence for me with
Yes.
that? Of course, you know it's an adjective. So how would you make a sentence with it?
Whenever I have a session with you, I always feel blight.
Very good. Good job. Very nice sentence. I just hope that's true. But it's a very good sentence. Okay, here comes your next word. It's a more common word. I'm pretty sure you know this. But let's see if you can pronounce it correctly as well.
Etiquette. Etiquette.
Etiquette. Etiquette. Yes, etiquette.
Etiquette.
Yes, we don't
Etiquette.
pronounce the U. Yeah, etiquette. So what does it
Yes.
mean? Yeah.
Etiquette, manners.
Manners. Good manners, basically sophisticated manners. So how would
Yeah.
you make a sentence with this?
etiquettes. If you are meeting to a foreigner for the very first time, you should always be very mindful and always maintain etiquette. No,
Etiquette.
etiquette. Sorry, I am
Etiquettes. Yes.
pronouncing you.
It's fine. It's
Etiquette.
fine. Yes, etiquettes. Okay, very good. Now, one thing, we don't generally use the word phoner. Okay, it's not actually a word. So you can say caller. Sometimes we say that whoever calls me is a caller, or the person I'm talking to. If someone calls you, we generally say caller, or whoever is calling, like that. But phoner is not a word actually. Okay, I mean, I don't know if
Oh,
it's like a word from the Urban Dictionary right now, like words that are popular in media, but at least in the conventional sense of the term, it's not a word. Okay, so yeah,
okay.
just stick to caller maybe. Yeah. Okay. Another thing, could you pronounce checking for me once?
Which one?
Checking, checking. Could you pronounce it? Like, I'll type it down maybe.
Check.
Yeah, this one. How do you
Checking.
pronounce it? Yes. So once you pronounce it as checking, so there was an A sound instead of E. So be very
Checking.
careful of it. Yeah, checking. Okay, checking. A, like checking.
Okay.
E. Okay, not
Yeah.
chucking. Yes. Okay. Otherwise, everything was good. Okay. So yes, let's go to the third and the last segment, which is the question and answer. Though you have, answered quite a lot of the questions, like you told me what are the various reasons for which newspapers are used. I also asked you how frequently do you read the newspaper. You also told me why the newspaper is important. Now tell me something. Do you think has the newspaper, like the print newspaper, has it lost its popularity somewhere after the advent of digital media or digital newspapers?
Mm, yes, somewhere, yeah.
Okay.
In my opinion, after the boom of technology and a lot of different applications, social media, and people just rush for their work now, and they don't have much time, so they just want to read the whole news in a short
Yeah.
paragraph, like in two,
Yes.
three lines. So I guess there is an application also with the name of InShort.
In shorts.
InShort.
Yes. Yes.
I what happened? I got disconnected.
Yes. I think some network issue.
Oh, okay. So I was
Yeah.
saying, people have to rush for their work and they don't have much time. So
Hmm.
those people always use the application where they can get the news in a
Hmm.
short paragraph.
Yes. Yes.
Otherwise, if I talk about younger generation, they always prefer to watch a particular video on YouTube or on other
Yes.
social media instead of reading newspaper. I don't know why visuals and listening are, I guess, nowadays working well in their life instead of
Yes.
the reading. But I believe like reading is kind of a magic. It plays a role of magic where when you are inculcating a habit of speaking. Like if you want to speak fluently, then reading is, I guess, must thing you should always read. So I guess reading newspaper is getting reducing nowadays, and people are getting every news from social media.
Right, absolutely. Okay, okay, that's great. Okay, now just a small question. You don't have to go into like a very brief discussion. I mean, very elaborate discussion about this. But do you think sometimes the news that we get from papers, can it be fabricated? As in, can it be falsified, or can we get a kind of partial truth or a half truth from newspapers?
uh, I have seen it when we talk about video, like people are if people are making video on watching a
Hmm.
newspaper in a video form,
Hmm.
there are
Hmm.
a lot of things that are fabricated. But in
Hmm. Okay.
newspaper, I guess some stories are fabricated which are based on political agendas, like related to politics. Because
Right.
people
Yes.
love to, read amusing or interesting news. So it's because of that reason, again, they just, add some mirchi masala. I don't know what to say. Otherwise,
Spices.
the
Yeah.
data of GDP or revenue, tax, or books, author, and the MOUs and meetings, I guess they are provided in the right form. They always, I guess, authentic.
Right.
in newspaper.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Those were my questions for the day. It goes without saying you performed incredibly well. Your answers were well substantiated. Had a lot of different examples and experience. Experiential points where you talked about your own, habits or whatever you have understood from your years of reading the newspaper or not reading the newspaper. So it was wonderful talking to you. But yes, there were some mistakes that I have noted down, and now we can discuss a little bit about that. And in case if you don't understand a concept or anything, just feel free to stop me and ask me. I'll explain it to you. Okay. Yeah. So firstly, there were some yeah, there was some, usage of words, of wrong words, basically. For example, in the initial part of the class, you said newses. Now, news is absolutely, it's a fixed form, because news is actually not a singular or plural form. It's an acronym. I don't know if you know about that. It comes from there are various opinions about it, but news actually is a short form for north, east, west, south, according to some people. Other people also say that it's an acronym for notable events, weather, and storm. And some people say it
Uh-huh.
comes from a Latin word. So whatever the debate might be, whatever might be the cause, but news is incorrect. News is a rigid form, plural, singular, whatever. We just say news. I have a news. I have two news.
It,
Yes,
yeah.
it's just news. Okay. Then you said, I think one and the very last part you said datas. If I heard it correctly, I don't know if you said data or something, but I heard datas. So now data is also a plural form. The singular form of data is datum. Okay. So datum and data. So be very cautious about this. Now, yeah, at the beginning you said that conversations. That and this are used for singular words. So that conversation, those conversations, these conversations. Okay, that and this, those and these. So there's a difference. Then so when you we are making generalized statements, it's always better to use pluralized words. Like we always look at our mobile phone. You said mobile phones. You are probably looking at your mobile phones. Try to pluralize it, since it's a generalized statement, so everyone does that. So try to pluralize those words. Not everyone is looking at the same phone. They have their different phones at which they're looking at. Yeah. Then yeah, doctors has suggested. You said doctors have suggested. Doctors.
Have
So it cannot be, yeah, has. Then I want to suggest you, suggest to you. I want to suggest
to
to you. Yes. Like talk to you, suggest to you. Then start reading newspapers. Start reading a newspaper or start reading newspapers. One of those two. Okay, if you are making it singular, say place an article before that. Then you will know more cricket. We can know more cricket from newspapers. We will know more about cricket. So like what is happening in the
about.
world of cricket. Yes. So know more
Yeah.
about cricket, right? Then well communicator. Now this is interesting because well is an adverb, so you cannot use it as an adjective. You can say that you will become a good communicator or you will communicate well, but you can't say well communicator. Okay, we have this habit, like we can't say goodly communicator. Goodly is not even a word, but whatever. Like brightly communicator, we can't say bright communicator or communicate brightly, something like that.
Yes.
Okay. Then you said lots of plethoras of what? Plethora basically means like a myriad, a lot. So you don't have to repeat lots and plethora together. Just choose any one of those. Okay? A plethora of words. That's fine. And one last thing is you said younger generation, always place the before younger generation. The younger generation. Okay?
The
Like
younger.
the younger generation finds it more appealing to watch videos. You said younger generation finds it more appealing, something like that. So just say the younger generation. Okay. Otherwise, yeah, everything seems to be in place. Do you have any doubt or any question?
No doubt, but I think I should have spoken a little slower.
It's okay. I think you spoke really well, and I think you got very enthusiastic today as well. I don't know if it was the topic or that
That's very
first
good to
activity.
do, I guess.
No, but I understood your, communication perfectly well. Your speed was perfectly fine for me. But if you think that you should go a little slow, just adjust your speed accordingly. Whatever you feel goes, better with your pace. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else? Did you have fun? That's more important, I think.
Yeah. I always enjoy talking to you. Get positive vibes, energetic. Yeah, I always feel good.
Yeah.